Hello, and welcome to the Rankin Report for Sunday, October 22nd, 2023. Thank you for watching. From the book of Ezekiel, chapter 7, verses 20 to 27. They took pride in their beautiful jewelry and used it to make their detestable idols. They made it into vile images. Therefore, I will make it a thing unclean for them. I will give their wealth as plunder to foreigners, and as loot to the wicked of the earth who will defile it. I will turn my face away from the people, and robbers will desecrate the place I treasure. They will enter it and will defile it. Prepare chains, for the land is full of bloodshed, and the city is full of violence. I will bring the most wicked of nations to take possession of their houses. I will put an end to the pride of the mighty, and their sanctuaries will be desecrated. When terror comes, they will seek peace in vain. Calamity upon calamity will come, and rumor upon rumor. They will go searching for a vision from the prophet. Priestly instruction in the law will cease. The council of the elders will come to an end. The king will mourn. The prince will be clothed with despair, and the hands of the people of the land will tremble. I will deal with them according to their conduct, and by their own standards I will judge them. Then they will know that I am the Lord. When the first temple of the Lord, built by King Solomon, was used for worshiping idols, it was a holy thing used for unholy purposes and was profaned. Even when a God-fearing king cleaned out the temple, the people clung to their idols in their hearts and set them right back up, and worse, in the temple, when the next king was ungodly. Therefore, some of the people finally went into exile to cure them of idolatry, and God permitted the defiled temple to be destroyed by the Babylonians. After 70 years, their descendants returned to the land, and a new temple was built under Ezra, representing the church, and Nehemiah, the governor, representing the state. Even though there is nothing in the scriptures about the glory of the Lord returning to the second temple, it was still considered holy. And eventually it was renovated and expanded by King Herod. But as time passed, the scribes and the Pharisees, intent on keeping the temple holy, pushed strict adherence to the letter of the law of Moses to the point of excess, and lost sight of the spirit of the law, or what God wanted the law to do for his creation. Jesus sought to steer the people back to the law's original intent, but of course was opposed by the scribes and the Pharisees. You might say that the law had itself become an idol in the hearts of the scribes and Pharisees, or more accurately, perhaps their strict interpretation of the law that kept them from seeing its fulfillment in Jesus as the Messiah the law promised. Eventually, of course, after the ascension of Jesus into heaven, this second temple was also destroyed. This was prophesied by Jesus in his teaching on the Mount of Olives, the most extended account being in Matthew chapter 24 and 25, although Mark and Luke, I believe, both have their own versions of the Olivet Discourse. Now, although there is a national cathedral in Washington, D.C., formerly known as the Cathedral Church of St. Peter and St. Paul, part of the Episcopal Church, the Diocese of Washington, the focus of the United States is not a national house of worship, but on a founding document, the U.S. Constitution. Researching the history of the Constitution's development reveals that there was a great influence of Scripture on the document. I've spoken before about this in these posts. But for specifics, I would recommend a visit to the website of Wall Builders, which has even more detailed accounts of this. So our system of government was influenced by Scripture, but was not commanded by God, as was the tabernacle and later the temple. And yet, in a way, the Constitution has been changed over the years through the process of amendments. Now, the first 10 amendments, known to us as the Bill of Rights, served to reinforce the principles of the Constitution. But subsequent amendments have altered the original principles. For example, the senators are no longer elected by the state legislatures, they're elected by the people directly. And this serves to transfer power away from the states to the federal government, increasing its power. Some believe that this has had the effect of taking power from the people, in a sense, defiling the Constitution. Many now feel the Constitution is being outright ignored by the government, leaving us at the mercy of a state run by bureaucrats, if not an outright police state. I was pondering this the other day, and I thought, if this is so, and the document, and the document inspired by Scripture has been changed in a negative way, if America does not return to it, are we in danger of it being scrapped by God? And we as a nation are told to start over again. It's worked for about almost 250 years. But some say there is a danger in how the Constitution is interpreted nowadays. And as I was pondering this, this was when I read the passage from Ezekiel at the start of this post. This is what the Lord said to me. The Constitution, though inspired by my word, is not a holy thing like the Ten Commandments, the tabernacle, or the temple. Just as I can forgive the transgression of a single man or woman, so I can forgive the transgression of a nation under my covenant with it. I will not call for its destruction, the Constitution's destruction, like I did with the temple. If people will return to the principles of the Constitution and my covenant, I will return to them, as I did their forefathers. With a way open for God the Father, to God the Father, made in the shedding of Jesus' blood, we know that he wants to forgive us. And since he deals with individuals and with nations the same, he makes the same call. Come back. Come back to me. Come back to the covenant your fathers made with me. Now, does this mean our national sins will not be dealt with or somehow be winked at? Of course not. Nations, like individuals, must still deal with the consequences of sin, even as we are forgiven of them. But God will make a path for America's restoration and return to the purposes he set for this nation at its founding. And that purpose is to spread the gospel to the world. Don't believe me? Hey, don't listen to me. Look up the writings of the founders and pay special attention to the inaugural ceremony of George Washington as the first president of the United States under the Constitution, and what happened afterward, after the ceremonies were concluded. God waits for us to get back on track with him so he can put us back on track for his kingdom, and for us to ask him to make us holy as he is holy. Pray for the Great Awakening. No king but Jesus. Independence forever. That's the Rankin Report for Sunday, October 22nd, 2023. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoy these posts. Share them if you wish. Thank you for watching. God bless you, and have a great day.